Welcome back. You're watching Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18. Let's move on. The Supreme Court came down hard on the bulldozer justice by the state government and said that executives cannot take the law into their own hands. Ashmit is joining in with us on the phone line with more details on this case. Ashmit?
Well, just to give our viewers a brief context, a batch of applications had been pressed before the apex court. The concern that had been raised is that in states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, there were instances of accused persons having their properties demolished under the guise of municipal laws. Now, this was the concern raised. Now, this is something that the apex court has come down severely on. The Supreme Court saying that the real motive behind these demolitions, behind these bulldozer demolitions, is actually to punish the accused without even trial. And this is where the Supreme Court comes in to say that the executive cannot replace the judiciary, that the executive cannot decide to punish the accused without trial, that even if a person is convicted of a heinous crime, and then demolitions cannot take place unless there is a procedure prescribed in law. The Supreme Court goes on to say that such actions by public officials cannot be tolerated, is a clear case of abuse of power. There is no place in our Constitution, and that it will not be tolerated. And with that, the apex court went on to say that there is a need for accountability. Officers that are pressing for such bulldozer demolitions, there needs to be some accountability. And now, as a part of this judgment, has clarified that in case of magnified intent, in case of wrongful demolition, in such cases, such officers will be personally liable for restitution of the property at their own personal cost. This is a far-reaching order that the Supreme Court has passed, making public officers, especially of these municipal bodies, personally liable. Further, the Supreme Court goes on to say that as far as guidelines are required, there are detailed measures, directions that the Supreme Court has laid down. Number one, there has to be a show cause notice. The show cause notice has to provide a window for 15 days within which they can seek, the persons affected can go ahead and seek legal remedy. There needs to be an arrangement whereby these public notices are shared with the district magistrate as well as on a portal to ensure that there is no backdating of these notices done by municipal bodies. Also, the Supreme Court records there needs to be a forum for personal hearing. There needs to be a personal hearing in case of demolitions. And finally, the Supreme Court goes on to conclude to say that the municipal bodies will have to demonstrate why demolition was the only possible alternative, why no other solution such as compounding of the illegal construction or only partial demolition was not possible, why that could not have been done. That is a case that now the municipal bodies will have to make. Essentially, the Supreme Court saying that life and liberty is critical, that a person's house reflects a lifetime of hard work, a lifetime of savings, and that it cannot be done under executive orders, wrongful executive orders by the government. Strong word coming in from the apex court. Back to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for that, Ashmit. But let's move on.